Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video from the Sports Scoop. Today we are doing our divisional round predictions. I did our wild card predictions, and then I did a wild card recap. So we are keeping you guys up to date with the NFL playoffs, all that kind of stuff. Make sure to subscribe if you are new. We are NFL updaters throughout the whole season, so you guys can trust us to bring you guys the best news there is out there on YouTube. Quickly, before we get into the video, I want to let you guys know about a giveaway we are having across all our social media platforms. We're doing a 2021 fantasy mock draft for the NFL season. You can join. It'll be we're thinking 10 to 16, depending on how many people join, PPR mock draft. So it's not an actual fantasy league yet. And it will be on 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, 3:30 p.m. California time on this Friday, January 16th, 15th. We will send the link out on our Instagram. It is linked down below. We have a post. It explains everything, how you join, all that. You basically DM us, I'm in, to join the mock. And on Friday, we will send everyone who is in a link, and we will be live streaming it. So make sure if you guys are interested in that stuff, even if you're new, you can obviously still join. We will love to see new faces. So yeah, make sure to go do that. More info will be about that at the end of the video and linked in the description down below, so you can check that out. But let's get into our divisional round predictions. Going into the first game, we have the Rams against the Packers. This high-flying Packers offense, obviously they were given the bye. And I feel like this game could be closer than people think. The Saturday matchup at 4:35 p.m. My basically thought process for this game is this Rams defense is the best in the league. Aaron Donald is someone who can change games. And there's not a lot of defensive players who can really change the outcome fully of games and disrupt offense. There are very select few of players who can do that. Aaron Donald is one. I think one of the most talented players in the league. Jalen Ramsey, someone who DK Metcalf was good. He had 2 touchdowns, but I feel like when Jalen Ramsey was against him, the coverage was good. And I think if there's one player who can guard Davante Adams, no one can really guard him. But I think Jalen Ramsey would be able to do it to a sufficient extent. And I feel like that could be a problem for the Packers. I think they need a game plan against that. And I don't really trust this Packers defense. I'm giving this game to the Rams. I think the Rams win this game.
All right, I would just like to address that you guys all called me crazy for saying that the Rams would beat the Seahawks. No, this is not happening. The Packers are clearly, other than the Saints, potentially the best team in the NFC. And I don't see how an injured thumb of Jared Goff is going to be able to beat this star-studded offense. And it doesn't even mean that the Packers defense will hold them to that very little points. It's just that the Packers offense will outscore the Rams. So that's all I've got to say.
I completely agree, Dylan. I think that although Jalen Ramsey has been one of the top corners in the league this year and he's able to shut down guys like DK Metcalf, Davante Adams is on a whole different level. If he even is able to slow him down to some extent compared to other corners that Davante's faced in recent weeks, I still don't think it'll be enough. Aaron Rodgers is so lethal, and with a receiver like Davante Adams, I just feel like there's no way that the Rams defense, as good as it is going to be able to stop this, as you said, Kian, high-flying Packers offense. I'll give it to the Rams. They've been amazing I didn't expect them to win last week. Props to you, Dylan, for picking that win, but I think the Packers are going to take this one.
Yeah, I think this will be actually a very close game. I think these are not one, but I think the Packers defense is also very underrated. They've really picked it up in recent weeks, led by number 1 corner themselves, Jair Alexander, who, in my opinion, has actually been better than Jalen Ramsey this season. So I think 2 very good defenses. I don't think the Packers offense will be completely stopped, but I think the Rams have the best chance of it's like shades of San Francisco last year. Really good defense, good running game. That's what LA has. That's what San Francisco had last year. I'm going to give it to the Packers in a nail-biter.
We have Saturday, 8:15, Ravens-Bills. This one, as someone who is favoring the Bills going into this playoff race, their performance against the Colts does not convince me they can win this game against the Ravens. It's a tough game to predict. This is probably the toughest game I'm going to have to predict. I'm going to give it to the Bills. And this is my least confident one. I feel like this one I could easily get wrong, but I'm going to give this one to the Bills.
I'm going to respectfully disagree with you this time. I think this is going to be the best matchup of the week. There's no denying that. And I might have a bias against the Bills, but that's not going to be why I'm going to pick them to lose. I think that Lamar Jackson and the Ravens and the defense have gotten hot at the right time. As you said, they held Derrick Henry to close to nothing.
40 yards.
Yeah, and although AJ Brown had them at the start, they really closed up on him at the end. And Lamar Jackson's just a different beast. Say what you want about Josh Allen. He's an excellent quarterback, but I don't think he can compare to what Lamar Jackson can do on the field. And I know this is going to come back and bite me, but I'm going to go with the Baltimore Ravens and win this one.
This one I feel like could really go either way. I think this has to be a close one. Two pretty high scoring offenses and two not so bad defenses. Obviously, the Ravens defense has been good in recent weeks. Holding Henry to what they did last week is a feat that almost no one can accomplish. The X factor in this game, it's going to come down to which young quarterback chokes. I think that's just it. We saw it from Josh Allen last year. He choked. We saw it from Lamar Jackson last year. He choked. It's really just going to depend on who chokes. I don't know. I think that Lamar Jackson just right now is less likely to choke. The form he's in right now, he's just been pretty excellent the past few weeks. I'm going to have to do this one to the Ravens, albeit in a close one.
Before I say my prediction, I just want to say that this 2018 quarterback class might go down as one of the best in a while. We have a lot of good quarterbacks. I think this will be, again, a very good game. I'm going to give it to the Bills for this reason. The Ravens, again, even though they came back from a 10-0 deficit, and like I said, I think Lamar's playing better, the Ravens cannot consistently play from behind. This was their first over 10-point comeback, I feel like, in a while. I think I saw some stats
I think in
that.
like 3 years or something.
Exactly.
It's just, team, yeah.
I mean, it was a good win, but again, this is different because all due respect to Derrick Henry and the Tennessee Titans, but the Bills offense, they're just going to keep scoring and scoring and scoring, unlike the Titans who keep pounding the rock. And if you stop Derrick Henry, you stop the offense. And it's much harder to stop Josh Allen than Derrick Henry, especially right now. I think also Ravens love to blitz. Josh Allen is one of the best pocket passers in the NFL. That could really come to bite them. Give me Buffalo here.
Again, possibly a blowout. We have the Browns against the Chiefs. I will never bet against a Patrick Mahomes-led offense that is given a week rest. That's, I feel like, something you can kind of trust. And I feel like the Browns right now, and obviously there's no terrible team in the playoffs, but I feel like the Browns right now are probably the weakest. And I know they were very good against the Steelers team, but let's remember the Steelers team went 1-5 after starting 11-0. So they weren't obviously amazing. I think Ben Roethlisberger was a huge reason why they lost that game, throwing 4 interceptions. I think they started like interception, punt, and like terribly started off. This Browns offense looked great, don't get me wrong, but I'll never bet against a Patrick Mahomes offense, especially if it's against an inferior team. Give me the Chiefs.
Don't get me wrong, I am picking the Chiefs in this game because the Chiefs are the best team in the league, and it's really not even close. There is something to be said about the Chiefs being on a week of rest, which is also a week of less reps, and the Browns coming in with the hot hand, which might be the reason that this game is going to be closer than people expect. I'm still giving it to the Chiefs because they could just play well for 5 minutes and score 30 points. But, I mean, the Browns could give them a matchup. Don't underestimate them.
Think about it. It's not even 1 week of rest for some of those Chiefs starters. Patrick Mahomes has had 2 weeks off, and so has Tyreek Hill, and some of those key players have had 2 weeks. And for a lot of players, I would say that that's almost a bad thing, those 2 weeks off. But who am I kidding? It's Patrick Mahomes. There's no 2 weeks rest is a bad thing for him. He's going to thrive under pretty much any situation he's put into. This Browns offense has looked really good. I think they will score points. I think this could turn into a shootout. But you never want to get into a shootout with the Chiefs. You just can't win one of those. You got to hold them defensively, and nobody can do that either. The Chiefs don't lose. Give me the Chiefs on this one.
Do you guys want to know what was the last game that the Chiefs won by more than 1 score?
Sure.
Week 8 against the New York Jets. Since then, they have not won by more than 1 score.
Thumbs up.
They have not looked good in recent
good thing
weeks.
they've only lost.
That is true. I give that to Serge. There's been a lot of problems that have started to rise with the Chiefs.
Exactly. I am not confident right now in this team. And the Browns have looked really good. They have one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. Baker's playing like a top 10, hell, maybe even a top 5 soon enough. I mean, the way he's playing right now, he's playing incredible.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, and Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, that is a scary duo. Combined with that, with secondary starting to get healthier, with Denzel Ward will be coming back. We don't know about that. I mean, and I've said all that, and you think, Serge, are you actually going to predict the Browns? No. I can't go against Mahomes. but I would be not
He's
surprised if the Browns pull off the upset because the Chiefs, no bueno in recent weeks.
Let's get on to our last game. It's crazy. We're getting less and less predictions in, but we're on our fourth game. The last game, Sunday night, 6:40. Buccaneers Saints. The first time 40-year-old quarterbacks have ever played in a playoff game. Was it 40? I know there's some record just because Tom Brady and Drew Brees are old men.
43 and 42.
43 and 42.
What are they,
But
like 70, 75?
yeah. First of all, I was convinced that the Buccaneers were a good team against Washington, but I also was not because Taylor Heineke almost ruined their party. If you guys saw my recap, they were very good, which is upsetting. He had a higher completion percentage than Tom Brady in a postseason game, which is not easy. And not only that, higher completion percentage than Tom Brady with a better offense than he did in New England last year. I think a big factor is going to be Antonio Brown. I think he was big recently. I think if you're able to use him well, he's very good. And I think he's starting to show how good he was before, all the problems arise with him. This Saints team against the Bears should have scored more. Kamara, obviously, since he hadn't played for, a week or in practice, that fumbled handoff he had with Drew Brees. It's a tough prediction. And really it is. I'm going to give it to the Buccaneers. Again, a nail biter.
Ian said the battle of the 40-plus-year-olds. And I don't want to sound cliche here, but I think that it's down to which quarterback wants to stay in the league for longer, because I think the loser of this game will be retiring within the next day. And I think that if that's the question being asked, Tampa Bay Buccaneers have the better offensive weapons to get them what they want. And I think that's going to be a big piece to Tom Brady's run. And I think Brady and the Bucs will be able to hold off the New Orleans Saints. I'm predicting against them again, but I think Tristan Wirfs impressed me. Ali Marpet impressed me last weekend against Montez Sweat and Chase Young, respectively. Antonio Brown, Godwin, Evans, the three as receivers will be able to defeat the New Orleans Saints defense.
Keen, you mentioned Antonio Brown being a big factor in the game. I think that's true. I think that not only just because he's Antonio Brown, who before he was suspended a few years ago, is arguably probably the best receiver of the decade before he was suspended. Starting to see smaller flashes of that. We never really got that with New England, but we're starting to see flashes with Tom Brady at quarterback. He's like the number 3 receiver in Tampa Bay, but not only because he's so good, but because he's the number 3 receiver. To have a guy like that as your number 3 behind guys like Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, who are both phenomenal in their own right, I think that there's just no way that this pretty good Saints secondary, this well-rounded Saints defense, however good they are, this Bucs offense has been incredible, especially even with Ronald Jones at running back. I just think I have to go with the Bucs on this one.
I don't want to hear the Ronald Jones disrespect. He's been excellent this year.
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I was
He's
saying.
on my fantasy team. And then now for me, I think again another big storyline that some people are talking about, not everyone. Devin White was on COVID reserve last week. He will be back this week. That is huge.
That is big.
Think Tampa Bay have the best linebacking duo in the league.
Easily.
For sure.
Levante David and Devin White, that's unbelievable. And then no wonder they have one of the best run defense in the NFL. And a good run defense did come in handy against a duo like Alvin Kamara and Latavius Murray. So
Really?
I remember Sturridge said this last
actually.
time. He was like, the Browns have this running back called Nick Chubb.
basically, I think again, I think they have a very good run defense. I think the secondary is a bit suspect, which means I think New Orleans will put up points. But the Tampa Bay offense has never looked hotter recently. And I think that might be one of the key factors in this game. Again, like you said, AB has been showing up recently. We already got Evans and Godwin. Gronk, don't forget about him. And, of course, that offensive line. They did last time they got blown out at home. Ali Marpet was not there. He was arguably, a lot of people said that he should have been an All-Pro this year, but
I don't know how he hasn't been.
I know he's been
not even biased.
consistently.
I don't know how
He's
he hasn't been.
consistently one of the best guards in the NFL.
Shout out to Ali.
I know.
Facts.
Shout out.
Please
I mean,
come
I don't know who I am.
come back. Like I said, I think this is a very, very good Bucs roster. I'm gonna give it to Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that. that ends our 2021 division round predictions. The next time we record this video will be in 2022. That has no importance to you, but I don't know why I said that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Obviously, of course, it really does mean a lot. Thank you guys again for all the support on our mock drafts, also a lot of our other content. We're going to continue to keep growing, keep putting out content for you guys. As I said, make sure to go down the link down below, click our Instagram, check out our most recent post. And if it's not our most recent, it'll be the one that says fantasy mock draft with supporters, and all the information's down there. We would love to see some of you guys here. If you guys did join, comment down below fantasy football mock draft, or just say that you entered in. We'd love to know how many people we're getting. But thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe, like the video, helps all so much. We're on the grind for 2,000. So we'll see you in the next video.